Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aloneinfinland, and today we're going to be talking about GoPro. Now I know that this is going to be unusual from my sort of gaming videos and stuff like this, but this is something that has been fairly close to my heart for quite some time, and there is quite a big issue going on with GoPro at the moment. And as far as I've seen from every commentator that I have looked at that's talking about the situation, every single one of them has missed the main point. So let's get into what's going on. Now, the first thing first, GoPro has put out an announcement to its shareholders that has said that it is facing bankruptcy or buyout. And this has caused a bit of a fervour in the online place and the sort of people talking about it, the commentators, and you have a lot of people talking about it that don't have experience or don't understand what the product is, and are looking at it from a financial point of view or perhaps a computer point of view, and they're giving reasons that don't make sense. So let's go through them first. Now, obviously, with the situation in the world at the moment, the first thing that everybody is pointing to is the cost of memory, the cost of RAM, and how much components are costing, because all of these prices are going up with all of the data centers and the AI bullshit in the world. A lot of people are having this issue, and a lot of companies are feeling the pinch as well. A good example on this being the Raspberry Pi has almost doubled in price, and its production has been put back significantly for the new Raspberry Pi 6 because of what's going on, because of the issues with buying RAM. Now, when it comes to GoPro, that is a part of it. That is definitely true when it comes to manufacturing. However, GoPro is a company that has had quite a profit margin on top of their cameras in the past, so it's not as big an issue as they are talking about. They could absorb it in the short term and then deal with it in the long term. So it's not exactly truthful to say that that's the main problem that's faced them, although it's understandable that some people would make that analogy with what's going on. Secondly, and more commonly, we have the likes of this. Now, this is a DJI. It is one of the nano cameras. It is a fairly good camera, and when you want to use it, it is fairly light to be able to record things in short bursts. So it is something that is a competitor for the way that GoPro are saying that their product should be used. However, that actually nips at one of the main points about what is going on. GoPro's product has changed how it should be used because of some technical issues, and this actually links directly to what has been the main problem with GoPro for several years now. Now, for me personally, I have used quite a few GoPros. I've had several Hero version GoPros, and this is the one that I still have, which is the Hero Session, which was the lightest and smallest one. The GoPro cameras were usually bigger than this. They came further down at the base, and they were fairly sort of rectangular in the front form factor, which, if you were using them as an action camera, had one small drawback, which was wind resistance. If you were doing them for instance on a motorcycle, you had them on your helmet, either at the top or at the side, you would get significant torque off of the camera joint in heavy winds. Say for instance, if you're doing 100 miles an hour on a motorbike, or 120, or things like this. So that when the Session came along, it was actually a very good camera because of the fact that it's much smaller in form factor. It had less wind resistance, and it was a significantly noticeable thing, to the point where out of the several, I think I've had over 10 cameras in total from GoPro, this is the one that I have kept because it's fairly good at 1080p footage, and it's small enough that you can mount it in fairly innocuous places and it's not a big problem. Now, the other side of this is what GoPros were used for. This camera can be turned on and left on and runs until it runs out of battery or it runs out of space. This camera, when it was first released, had an issue where it would overheat. And that was something that turned a lot of people off of this particular camera because of the fact that when it was overheating, it couldn't be used. It would take time to cool down. And this is something that came up with the GoPro cameras, and it started with them with the Hero 8. Now, personally for me, I had a Hero 8 and it overheated and I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't have the 9, I then moved on to the 10, and when I got the 10 it had been upgraded in various different ways, And my experience with it was that it was massively overheating. Now that's fairly significant because of where I was using it. I was using it when I was doing forestry work in the winter. It was minus 30 degrees C around about me, and the camera was still overheating. So a camera that is overheating and cooking itself in freezing temperatures, completely freezing temperatures, is something that is not particularly good. That camera was replaced and it carried on with the second version of it. The GoPro 11 and I believe the GoPro 12 also suffer from overheating as major issues. And this is the entire reason that I now have a DJI. Actually, I have two. I'm filming this on another one of the DJI cameras. And I replaced them because of the overheating issues, because the camera that came from GoPro was unusable. Now this is when GoPro, starting at the Hero 8, started to change how they described the usage of the camera. They said that it was for short bursts, that you shouldn't be using it for more than 5 minutes at a time, in part because it was overheating when turned on for 5 minutes, and it would need half an hour to 45 minutes to cool down and be usable again. So they changed the way that the camera should be used and used that as an excuse, which is disingenuous at best. And for a lot of their customer bases, including me, after several versions of this, several cameras that were unusable as cameras and were basically for burst photography, that was not something that could be used, because for the vast majority of their clientele, it wasn't setting up a shot and then taking 30 seconds to run through that shot and turning the camera off. It was recording yourself going down the ski run and then playing the footage back once you got home to see if there was good moments. It was running out on the bike without fiddling with all of the cameras, just letting them run for an hour or so and changing memory and batteries and things like this. So how they were saying the camera should be used ran contrary to how it was being used or how it was supposed to be used by anybody with common sense. Now remember, this started with the session 8 and carried on with the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12. So it is an ongoing thing for years for various different models that their cameras became unusable for the majority of their clientele, which means they're no longer selling cameras. So that's their problem. They have not had a product for several years. And what they have been putting out, they have been refusing to do RMA on the cameras. They have been denying returns. They have had a lot of problems, to the point where if you type in GoPro and overheating, you will get an automatic list in the AI searches on various search engines telling you all of the problems and how long they have been going on. This is significant. So companies like DJI that have functional cameras, but they are linked to disgusting apps that harvest data that are a massive problem, are more palatable than something like this that does the job perfectly fine, or something like the GoPro 10 that has tons of features and none of them can be turned on because they'll burn the camera out in seconds. It should be worth noting that the GoPro 10 that I had, I was filming at 1080p. It was a 4K camera. It could not be used at 4K. At 1080p in minus 20, sometimes you would get half an hour out of it. Mostly you would get 5 to 8 minutes before it shut off. And it would take 45 minutes, an hour to cool down if it was run for that full time. Then when you got to use it again, when it allowed itself to be turned back on, it would only run for 5 minutes, no matter what you had recorded before. And this is the main point of what's going on. The company was no longer selling the cameras that they supposedly had built. They were selling lies. They were putting out a product that could not do as advertised. They advertised it could sell 4K, it could take photography and 4K video, but it couldn't without turning itself off. They gaslit their customers when they tried to return them. So a lot of people, including myself, just put them onto the second-hand market, where other people would buy them for cheap and then think that they're a crap product and then turn to one of the alternatives. So while people are correct in saying that there are alternative cameras, it's not that people think this is a better deal, it's that people don't want to deal with GoPro anymore. The entire brand has been poisoned, and it's been poisoned for 4 generations plus of cameras. So now you have a product that's unsellable. And something that's particularly funny to me in some of the news that I saw is speculation that Apple is going to buy it. Apple known for crap products these days. Nothing they have made has been intuitive in any fashion since Steve Jobs died. So taking over a dying brand would be quite funny. So I thought I would put this out there as my 2 cents on the situation that's going on, explain what's going on. If you can get a second-hand one of these, they are fairly good. They are old, but they'll do what you need. The DJI stuff, I am not, as you can most probably tell, I am not a fanboy when it comes to DJI. There is some other methods that you can use to bypass the main app, but these are perfectly functional cameras. The problem is the app, the problem is the data harvesting, and you cannot use one of these without the app originally, without some serious technical knowledge and things like this, bypassing the links. For instance, the camera I'm currently filming this on, it turns on and it gives you, I think, 5 or 7 attempts to connect to the app, and if you do not connect it to the app, it locks itself. So it is required, which is a big problem because the app tries to access an awful lot that it shouldn't be accessing. I personally run that app in a sandbox on my phone so that it doesn't know what's going on. I also don't keep much private information on my phone just because of those reasons. But that's the story about how if you keep putting stuff out, when you are a brand that is not just known in the industry, that has become a mark. People use the term GoPro instead of action camera. It is like Hoover for vacuum cleaner. That is the level of brand recognition they had. And in 5 years they managed to slaughter it entirely, so that it is not known, not visible, and the entire company is dying. That is hysterical, and not in a good way. But yeah, I thought I would put that out there. If you're wondering about this link, this is what nearly killed me at one point when too much force was put on a chain I was using. It's always fun when the world opens like that, many years ago. So it's always on my desk as a reminder. But yes, GoPro is dying. And they did it to themselves. I'm Aloneinfinland. Comments and stuff like that down below. If you have good recommendations for action cameras that are not DJI, please put them down below. Your experiences, whether they require apps or things like this. I use a lot of these for footage. Not even footage that's going to go onto YouTube. I use it for recording what I'm actually doing as sort of proof of work and things like this. It makes it a little bit easier. So if you do happen to have any recommendations, please put them down below. And any information you have about them, it would be much appreciated. But with all that being said, this is something I'm going to do a little bit of, not going through the news, but going through products in general on the other channel, which is at the moment unmonetized and all of that jazz. It is just a fun thing. I'd like to get to the point where it's monetized, but at the same time, this is just some fun stuff that I'm going to go through. So thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. All the links and stuff down below. If you are interested in any of that support stuff, it's down there as well. Thanks for your time. Bye.